Entitled Mom accuses me of luring her kid to my car, then is upset I didn't offer him snacks. So it's the first week of school and my nephew Andy and his friend Falcon are attending the same school again, however is a new school, not the last one. Both my sister-in-law and my neighbor Sissy, Falcon's mother, have me as their emergency contact, and given that I have an active role in both the boys' life, I was asked to come in and walk the halls, do the meet and greet and fill out some information. I've been given this little yellow card for when they get off the bus, as Clarissa and Sissy are both at work, and the boys and little Beth will be chilling at my house after school. I have a card for Beth as well. All things are good and everyone happy. Later I'm waiting at the bus stop in my 2000 Civic, which is immediately a ricer. I've a kid on it that kinda makes it look like a skyline. I'm driving it a lot right now because I've agreed to give it up to my niece for her 16th, and I want more time with my first car after putting almost 10 years of work into it. Things start when I hear a lady, we'll call her Karen, not because she's a Karen, but because I know that's her name, talking crap about my car. She's over there standing outside her Ford Focus looking like the mean bee *TCH she always is. I know Karen well enough. Her son, whom I will call Dennis like the menace, was once Falcon's friend, and would be at my house with Andy and Falcon, and their other friend Puck. Puck is not his name, but I call him that, and it's a nickname that sticks. He looks like the character from Gargoyles when I was a little boy with long platinum blonde hair and elven features. He likes the nickname, his parents get the joke, but he is a timid, effeminate little boy. So, a little backstory on why I'm bringing this up. Puck, Dennis, Andy, and Falcon were over my house a lot. Puck would come by all the time to get Otter Pops, fruit snacks, or muffins randomly, even when Andy wasn't around. He's a good kid. They would play with him all the time. Then one day, he stopped coming over when Andy and Falcon were over, but would still stop by randomly. So I had noticed Dennis being a brat to Puck, and I had a couple of times stopped Andy and Falcon from being mean or saying mean things to the kid. They never mistreated this kid before Dennis started hanging out with them. Turns out, Karen, Dennis's mom, is hardcore this Westboro Baptist-style Christian, and thinks little Puck is gay and doesn't want Dennis hanging around him. She even came to my house and talked to me saying she didn't want Puck there when Dennis was there. Which I kindly told her to go Puck herself. You don't dictate what happens in my home. She hit me up with "you're not even the kid's father" kinda crap. Falcon's dad was still alive at this point, so I asked him to go tell her to go Puck herself. Sissy doesn't like her no way. Well, I came to find out from Puck's mother that Dennis had told Puck he couldn't play with them at my house anymore, and Dennis had beat up Puck. I went to talk to Dennis about this later when he was at my house, and he said his mom told him it was okay cause Dennis was a fag and he was going to hell. These kids are not even 11 yet. So I went to talk to Karen, who was a real bitch about it, like terrible, and I ended up saying that Dennis couldn't come back to my house. Also, I talked to Falcon and Andy about what Dennis did, and has been saying, and talked to their parents. Result, neither Clarissa nor Sissy wanted the kids to be around Dennis. Sissy didn't like Dennis cause of all the trouble he caused in her house. This was just the final straw. So, fast forward. Karen is giving me the stink eye and I'm just ignoring her. The bus comes, Andy and Falcon get off, and they come to the car. All the kids are fascinated by my car. And I hardly let the kids ride in it instead of my truck because, well, I worked all summer long back in 2006 to get those fancy seats and stuff. I usually don't even like to have little kids in it, but I'm cruising and we gonna go to Rita's today. Italian Ice. A bunch of the neighborhood kids come up and they talk and ask about the car. I'm letting me see the inside, though I'm wiping my hands and whatever. I got a little thing on the front like Knight Rider. Yes, I'm a nerd, but it's cool. Buses come, and we wait for Beth's bus. She goes to a different school and eventually, Dennis gets off the bus. He sees Andy and Falcon, he sees the car, he sees me, he comes over. Now I can be an asshole and tell the kid to get lost, but I'm not particularly venomous about the kid. He comes up and his mother comes quickly. He asks me if he can see the car, he's always been into it. I look at Andy and Falcon who are like, not sure what to do, and I'm like, sure Dennis, take a mask, wipe your hands. I got a box of masks and gloves and hand wipes and stuff. Half of that shit was in the car before COVID, but you know, little kids can't be vaccinated and they got grubby little cheetah hands. His mom does not like this. I hear her screech. What's going on? What are you telling him? He is cool about it. He says it's okay mom, he just asked me to wipe my hands and wear a mask. He's gonna let me sit in the front. She starts in with, why he has to wear a mask, the other kids aren't wearing a mask. I tell her the ones who jumped in my car got a mask and had to wipe their hands. She then goes off about COVID and blah, blah, but then takes a turn when she says something in her tirade about me luring kids to me with my car. Which I had to stop and stare at her ass. Now Andy, my nephew, he been in the car many times, he knows that if you lift the thing in the back seat, there's a cooler down there and so he goes for the snacks. He always does. While this crazy lady is yelling at me. After a moment of craziness, and the boys munching on chips, Beth shows up. I'm so happy, I close my doors, lock them, and go get her. I come back, Karen is still in my car waiting to fuss at me. Dennis is waiting to get into the car. I tell him, maybe next time, 'cause I just want to leave. He asks if he can have a snack, I look at his mom, and she goes, what, you're not even going to offer him a snack, you gave the other kids snacks. Technically Andy gave Falcon and the little Asian Indian kid, I don't know his name, snacks from my car, if he didn't give Dennis one that was intentional. I know Andy, and he's a little stinker in the making. But I'm like, sure, fine, what do you want? We got chips and juice and some mini Snickers. All shit, I can't eat anymore on my diet, but I keep my car and my shelves stocked. Gotta use that Costco card for something. Dennis does not want a snack now, he wants to get into the car. I think he thinks it's either or, like he can't do both. His mom snarls and tells him to get a snack, then Beth asks if we're going to Rita's, and I say yeah, we'll go to Rita's, and she says she hopes they have the birthday cake. Dennis goes, oh, birthday cake, can I go? And I don't want to say, hey, you mini hate crime, a kid so sissy, and Clarissa don't want you around the kids, and I don't particularly like you, which would be the truth. Instead, I immediately get slick at the mouth and say, I don't think that's a good idea, wouldn't want to lure you in with my car and the promise of treats. He looked directly at his mom, who then lays into me for not offering to take the kid. Not 5 minutes after she said that crap earlier. She then starts talking loudly and getting the other parents there involved. But this is my neighborhood, and most of these people know me, Andy and Falcon, and Dennis has been a little shit forever and people are tired of Karen, so, thankfully the most unlikely person in the world spoke up. The old Asian lady who was so sweet, I didn't think she spoke English or spoke it well. But she told her to shut up and take her badass kid home, and I heard that clearly enough. Folks were laughing, she scowled at me, and I told Dennis he could sit in the front seat before he left if his mom agreed. Of course, she didn't, called me an asshole, and drug her kid off. After that, we went to Rita's, and all was good, but I heard the kids talking about Dennis' crazy mom the whole time. I tried to stir the conversation away, talking about the first day of school and all that, but, nope, they wanted to talk about Dennis and his crazy mom. So yeah, that's my experience with an entitled mom. The problem is, this is probably gonna be a thing since we picking up the kids at around the same time. Though the rest of the week she only glared at me from her punk-ass car, and Dennis has arrived before Andy and Falcon since, so it's not been a huge deal. But I'm sure that woman's a ticking time bomb.